Alright, this is Andrew with Jodo Home Inspections. We are doing a sewer scope today here in Ogden. Today is December 10th, 2025. We're at 2853 Lincoln Ave, and we have the camera pushed out 80 feet to what looks like the city connection. Now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So right off the bat, it looks like this piece of the pipe is broken. Looks like a piece of clay. It's offset, that's why you're seeing that big lip, but then it also looks like it's cracked. So if you look at the right hand side, could be a root, but since I see a crack on the left side, I think it's possibly cracked or shattered, kind of like a puzzle piece. I'm not positive, but in either case, that offset is significant. And so that's a spot where waste could potentially get stuck, and if enough waste gets stuck on an offset, you can get a blockage where it backs up towards the house. If it were just the one, I'd say that's not ideal, but as we pull it back, you're going to notice that you have several offsets. Small ones, like this one, you have an offset on the top. Waste is very unlikely to see that spot of the pipe, but as we pull back, you'll see more and more that are like this, where it's on the bottom. That one's still minor to moderate. It'd be nicer if it wasn't there, but we're going to go by some under the house once we get closer that are a lot more significant. A little bit of standing water here, not too bad. One of the main things I'm looking at is if you have any standing water, because that would indicate improper grade. But so far it looks like the grade has been good. This house has a great access point down in the basement. In just a minute, we're going to go through a turn right there. I can't see, to the right of the screen, but it seems like we're dropping into a shared line. This is sometimes how it looks when you drop into a city line, but only 18 feet out, I don't think we're far enough out to be hitting a city line. So I think it's more likely that this is a shared line with a neighbor, which would be common for when this house was built. With a shared line, there's pros and cons. I mean, the pro is that it's shared responsibility, and so in theory, if something goes wrong, your neighbor should split the cost with you. Downside is that you can't control what your neighbor puts down, and so if they back up the line, it can back up into your house. You might consult with the city and get the map and make sure that that's not the city line. That would be great if you only had a 20-foot line, but that would be a lot shorter than I would expect it to be. So through here, I saw certainly a handful more offsets. That one's pretty significant. That one's pretty significant. And some of these are getting big enough that you'll probably be losing wastewater around the pipe as well. That one was pretty significant. This one's maybe the worst. If I saw nothing else except for this part of the pipe, I would recommend that it be dug up. And that's what I'll recommend now. I'd recommend having that located. We're not too far out. This might be here in the crawl space, which It would almost be better if it was out in the yard, because then you have more access to it. When it's just underneath the house, it's a lot harder to dig out. So next step here, I'd recommend having a sewer specialist locate at least the one offset and give you a price to repair it. I would talk to him about other options like a liner. They could blow a sleeve through the line, but when you have a lot of offsets, it's not always a great option, because you're going to have the liner's just going to follow the shape of that offset. Another thing you might be able to do here would be pipe bursting, where they push a new pipe through the old pipe and it shatters out that old pipe. That might be a good option here. I think you had good enough grade, and then it doesn't matter if there's an offset, because it just shatters it out. I think that would be a better option than a liner as I talk through it. I'm going to end this recording now.